Hello, hello, and welcome. If you are someone that subscribed to me, over a year ago, you'll notice that I wasn't around for like a year because YouTube suspended me, but in some crazy way, I was able to appeal again and get my channel back. So, that's the short of it. Even though I appealed, it was denied, and then I just thought I'd lost my channel, but all of a sudden a link appeared and I was able to appeal again and everything's cool. So anyway, let's talk about this deck. This is La Clavicule de Salomon, Les Protéités de Rose-Croix. I can't say his name. Eliphias, Levi. This is a Marco Benedetti deck that I got. Did I get it this year? Last year, December, but I think I got it earlier this year. This was a limited number of 50, and this is number 30. And it's signed. And it is a very strange and wonderful deck. First of all, let's look at this box. Look at the paper. It's made to look like a book, and it's wooden. It has a magnetic clasp here. It's got a book in English and in French. And this book is pretty good. It explains what's going on with this deck and how it is arranged. And it very much reminds me of the revolving. Put the booklet there. Look, it's got two dark ribbons in there. Because revolving has, like handwriting on it, and especially in this two colors here. It's a lovely deck. I do love my Bellini. This is not the original. This is the second, essentially I think the second edition that came out. This is first and only edition that I know of. Yeah, it's made in conjunction with Musée de la Cartouche d'ici les Malneux. If I said that right. There are two sets of cards. There are these extra cards, and then there's the typical cards. So here we can see the artwork here. I will pull these out. And the writing all over them. It is essentially a Marseille deck that has been modified. So we have these, which is great, but then there's these wonderful extra cards, which kind of threw me for a loop. And I think they're my favorite of this. So here we have a Sphinx card with all the suits here. It also says Hermes there. The backs of these cards are like a tomato red splatter. Here's the Melancholie, very much Melancholie. Nice drawing. Here's another Le Batelier, a different one. I love the faces on these. Junon, peacocks. Jupiter. Le Boiteux. Bibliothèque Impériale, it says at the top. Le Soleil. Le Mans. Here we have Mercury, Hermes with the elements. And then we have these cards. These lovely little cards, same back. I should say the cardstock is uncoated. It's in a thicker kind of rough feel to it. And I'm not sure what to make of these cards. I haven't really, the book kind of doesn't, I don't think when I read the book it didn't really give me a clear well, let's see. According to him, okay. To the letters that are in the images of the tarot, according to him, concealed. Okay. In a letter published posthumously in Pappus's journal, L'Initiation, he states that very ancient tarot were metals from which talismans have been made. Looking at the alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet hidden in the tarot. So these are sort of like working notes, essentially. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love the, first of all, the handwriting is ridiculous. Beautiful. La mer. And the cow. So these are just kind of like random cards. This is the order in which they came in. I haven't really done anything with them. This one says L'amour. Trait du tarot. I can't read the last word. Unitas Universalis. Let me get some numbers here. Sapota Vitesco. Le triomphe par la lutte. Yeah, see, there's just these interesting notes. Just, you know, just these interesting kind of extra cards. I am seeing a number in the middle that's sort of, maybe that's how they would be sorted. But again, this is the order in which they came, and I just wanted to leave them in that. In archival principles, it's called respect du fond. It's the order in which you get it, it's the order in which you keep it. Because there may be some reason behind it, and you may not know it now, but somebody may come behind you and know. So let's look at this deck and just do a really cursory look at the this amazing deck that I think it's an absolute treasure. Beteleux. First of all, the details in here are really nice, like they've been kind of enhanced a bit with all the notes around the so this one says Emmanuel. Some of these have names on, like Beatrix, Sophie. Patrice. Emperor. See all these little notes? I love it when people use different pens and pencils and colors to denote things. I'm not very good at that. I usually just stick to, if I'm taking quick notes, I usually just use a pencil. Le Pape. Hierophant. And it looks like different handwritings. I mean, look at that. I can't. It's very neat handwriting. amoureux. This one says Michael. Samuel. Justice. Raphael. Prudence. Ramette. I mean, look at all these very well done notes and symbols. Sachiel. Kabbalah. Root of Fortune. There's another Gabriel card. La Force. Liberté. Look at the greenish there. And then there's a superimposed, yeah, you can see the, which I've neglected, Hebrew alphabet that is on there, kind of really drawn on there. Cassiel. Naissance. Naissance. Nouvelle vie. New life. Putrefaction. Yeah, I can't read that. Horror. Oblivion. Oblation. Oblation. So it looks like, yeah, the letter in red is the letter that's sort of traced out in the image itself. Overlay. Le Diable. And there it is. Elohim. Étoile. A lune. Seraphim. Soleil. Jugement. Le Mans. Look at all the colors. It's also like it's been colored in after the initial. And here's Le Mat. And these will go down. So this is the order in which they came. They will go down from king to ace. So Roy to SO. But I wanted to read something from the booklet. Probably influenced by the Viville Tarot, in which the chariot is pulled by anthropomorphic creatures. He places two sphinxes at the head of his, an idea taken up by Worth, Pappas, Falconier, and Waite in their tarots, and designates a driver as a mythical author of the Book of Thoth, Hermes Trismegistos. Hermes is also found on the world map inspired by the tarot of Bologna, and his name appears on the Sphinx card. Greco-Roman mythology is perhaps represented by the lame man on crutches, a symbol of the passing of time, and may evoke Saturn, with the hourglass sometimes, by Juno and by Jupiter. The cards are also dotted with Greek inscriptions. India is not very present, however. The androgynous Sphinx can be seen as a personal interpretation of the engraving of God Shiva, mentioned above. Finally, the letters of the Hebrew alphabet and the Kabbalistic terms, of course, refer to Jewish tradition. That's just some background. So he said that Le Mans, that's a woman. Interesting. Well, let's go Notice the numbers here. So you'll see that these are essentially the same, like recolored images from Marseille. I think they're done really well, though. And notice the card, the numbers are kind of, if you're looking at numerology, it says, so we get a little bit of that as well. Like a lot of the cards, the Hebrew letters for the minor arcana, they usually don't correspond with anything if they're mentioned at all. Maybe a couple for, yeah, they don't have any on the court cards. Sometimes, let's see, nope, there's not even one on the, okay, so let's go. King, Queen, Chevalier. So we have, looks like something's been crossed out, like the numbers, yeah. They had a number and then they're like, nope, this is the number, so they're working. Like, oh, made a mistake. Because I can't quite read the number underneath. This looks like 19 or 39. There's the cup, the 10, 9, le grand nœud, no, le gars, something new, neuf, grand neuf. $51, $55, look, see, there's like a working deck. With stuff scratched out. Kind of cool. 4. 5, look at that. Isis, Regina, Moon. Becca, Ailes. So we have Taurus there. And here is the ace card. Then we get to swords. And this is the order in which they came, so the suits, this is the order. And I'm going to leave them in that because I think it makes something, there's something there. Here's the queen. Queen de P, queen of P. And that P. Chevalier, Valet. Then we have these very traditional Marseille swords. Interesting, that's white. 8, 52. 6, 5, 4, 3, and then 2, 1. So this is 76. Lots of little notes here I cannot read. Then we have baton. It says Hermes. Force. Queen. I could see force being equal to this one. Chevalier. Well, I should say with this one. So force sometimes is depicted as Hercules with a club and a lion. She's got a club, so there has to be something there. Chevalier, the valet. We got the 10 of batons there. 77, 38. 42. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. It says serpents. We are on the last suit. I love this card. I think for some reason this king, it says Helios Discobolos. Helios Discobolos. Helios sun. I just love the colors and little, it's almost like he has money sewn to his fabric. Prudence. Queen. Chevalier. Never seen one with a face like that. Valet de denier. Ten. 9. Look at all the writing on these. 8. 7. 6. 5. Get some astronomical symbols. It's colored in. There's Jupiter there. Osiris on the 3. And it's a triangle with a moon. This one says Bernadin. This is a Suzanne Bernadin deck. Okay, so it looks like it said some of the cards have been swapped out with other ones. So the Bernadin she's one of the first women. This is from 1839 that women in engraving and card publishing was unheard of. So Bernadin was quite special. And then here is, when I'm crazy on this one, it's very much a Roue de Fortune tarot, almost talismanic card. Bernadin. There we go. So there's the deck. So let's put it back in this little thing, and I have some comments. I'm going to do this a little bit at a time. Sort of trying to manhandle them in. And then I put this one here. So those extra cards stay separate. So the numbers on the minor arcana. Where's that section at? Let's see, where are we? It's le quartier Gabla, Viville. Oh, come on, where are we? So for the alphabet, trump cards are Hebrew letters, yes. Different from Cantique Blanc. it's mainly talking about the majors, not the minors. So, looking at these cards, if you were to look at Le Grand Tarot Benin, you'll see some similarities. So, but very much different. So here, let's look at just the Fool, for example. We have some numbers. We have a little bit of description. We have more symbols here than words, and we have a little. Of course, we have a reversal, folie, and le crocodile, l'expression, and then, but not so much as far as numbers. And when you look at the minor arcana, I think this one looks good. Here's the Two of Cups. We get more symbols, whereas we get more, a number, but we have the astrological. We have Libra, Moon, and then we have a reversal there. So they are different. They're similar, but as far as notes on the cards, and that's some correspondences, but they really don't compare one-to-one. But as far as like working decks, people, a working deck, essentially someone took notes on and is, it's meant for almost like their eyes only. This is, one of those. So essentially a modified Bernadin deck. This is La Clavicule de Salomon, Les Proteas des Rose Croix, the Rose Cross, as attributed to Eliphias Levi. And this is by Marco Benedetti. There you go. So thank you for watching and looking at this amazing deck that I got earlier this year.